All right, good morning or good afternoon, class. We have already gone through the concept of one-step equations, but today's concept of this video is going to be two-step equations. This is an example of a two-step equation, 2x plus 1 equals 5. You see, before we had like 2x equals 4. We had 2x equals 4, and then we have to try to find what x was, like what multiplied to 2 equals 4. But now we're going to add another step to it. Right here, it's a plus 1. Okay, so basically what we're trying to do is find 2 times what plus 1 equals 5. And I understand many of you could just think of a number and then try to plug it in, basically guess and check and see what equals to 5. And I understand that is a way to do it. But for other problems, it's going to be very difficult for you to try to keep guessing a different number over and over again. It's going to take you a long time to do that problem. But this way, basically a shortcut then to that, and you're going to find the answer really quickly. So for this problem right here, what you're trying to do is balance it out because you want both sides to equal 5. So for these problems, we're basically going to be doing the opposite here. So we're going to leave this 2x till after. So we have this plus 1 right here. We're going to focus on this plus 1. Now, because it's plus 1, we're going to do the opposite to it. So it is addition right here, so we're going to do the opposite, which is subtraction. So we're going to subtract 1. We're going to subtract 1 to this side. And what you remember from the last video of one-step equations, what you should do to one side of the equation, you do to the other side as well. So you're going to subtract 1 to the other side as well. Plus 1 minus 1, 0. Doesn't really matter. We have 5 minus 1. Bring down this 2x. The equal sign. 5 minus 1. I bet everyone can do that one. 5 minus 1 equals 4. Now, you have a smaller equation. Now you have a one-step equation, what you guys already know. 2x equals 4. Now, because it is multiplication right here, we're going to do the opposite, which is division. So you divide 2 on this side, you divide 2 to the other side, because what you do to one side, you do to the other as well. Now you have 2 divided by 2, that is 1x. But in math, we don't write 1x, we just write x, just because it looks much better. And then we have 4 divided by 2, that is going to be 2. And that is going to be your final answer. Because what you're trying to find is just what x can you put into the box to make this equation true. Now, what you could do, if you get an x and you're not sure about the answer, if you're right or not, you can always plug it back into the box. So you have 2 times 2 equals 4 plus 1. Bring the 1 up. And then 4 plus 1 equals 5. 5 is on the other side. We know that the answer is correct, and the correct answer is x equals 2. Now we're going to do a separate example that is a little bit more complicated, just adding some negatives in there. But it's going to follow the same process, and I'm sure you guys will understand. Now we have this other example. We have 3x plus 2 equals negative 10. Now here, this is where you can't just guess and check because it's a little bit more difficult. We're still trying to find 3 times what in the box plus 2 equals negative 10. We're still trying to solve this, what goes inside the box, which is basically x, because x is just a placeholder. It's basically just an empty box, which you're trying to put in there. Okay, but here, you can't just guess a number because most of the time, you're not going to get what is equal to negative 10. So now, you're basically working backwards. So here, we're going to focus on this positive 2. This is plus 2 right here, so we're going to do the opposite to it. Opposite addition is subtraction. So we subtract 2 to this side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Now, you have negative 10 minus 2. If you owe me $10 and then you owe me another $2, what are you going to owe me in total? You're going to owe me $12. If you guys don't really know like the answer to negative 10 minus 2, then I suggest basically going back, watch the adding integers and subtracting integers video, and just try to refresh on it because I understand that not everyone's gonna always remember it by heart, and I understand everyone needs a refresher, so that is perfectly okay. So now we have negative 12 on this side. We bring down the 3x from our problem. Now we have 3x equals negative 12. This is a one-step equation. It's much simpler now. So here we have multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide 3 to one side, divide 3 to the other side. Now you have x equals negative 12 divided by 3, which would give you negative 4. And that is your final answer of x equals negative 4. You can always plug it back in. 3 times negative 4, that would give you negative 12. Add the 2, that would give you negative 10. You can always check your answer at the very end if you're not sure. It's very helpful. And at least then you'll know that you're 100% correct. And I hope you guys learn how to do two-step equations. We're going to do some practice problems afterwards. And hopefully you guys can master it. And practice makes perfect. Thank you.